some real challenges here in our city. I'm proud of the progress that our city has made to this point, and I think someone mentioned here tonight, one of the other candidates, that experience is good, but only if good things happen. And I agree with that. And I think if you look around, this city is a lot better than it was in 2001 when we first started out. But we're not perfect. And I'm not one to just sit on the laurels and say, oh, everything's fine, we'll just keep on rocking along the same way. Don't believe that. I think there's some big challenges ahead of us now. Particularly, I'm concerned with some of the things going on in the City Hall. I think we need some personnel management to be done there, and I'm looking for some changes to be made after the election. The water plant is costly. You got to bear in mind that we didn't have any choice on building a water plant. That was a requirement from the federal government. That was an unfunded mandate, and we pretty well had to comply or face a fairly healthy fine each day for not having good pure water. And after all, we want to have good pure water. According to our financial information, despite some of the things that you've heard, I believe that we're pretty much on schedule. We're not in great trouble. The overruns that we've had are within our budget. I do think that if this goes on for this recession that we have goes on for year after year after year, yeah, we could be in trouble. But we're not yet. We haven't had an increase in our water rates that we've had to pay for some 12, 13 years. So we were pretty far behind some of our neighbors in what we were paying for water. So we've been getting a good deal for a long time. And what we are going to get is some really good, clean, pure water without arsenic in it. And the plant is beautiful. It's going to be an advantage to our community. And I'm proud of that. I'm also proud of our City Hall that we built. And I think that all of you can take pride in that, because that's something that's going to serve our citizens very well for a number of years. I guess at that point, I'd like to make some questions.
What we'll do is, you did touch upon some of the questions, so I'll go back and we'll look more at the specifics. You talked about city staff and leadership at City Hall and your concerns, but if elected to a term, what specific changes would you want to accomplish?
The thing I want to accomplish is a smooth working City Hall with department heads and employees that are working together as a knitted organization. And I think that can happen. I think it should happen. I don't think it's happening right now. We have a division in the City Hall, and there's some changes that need to be made. I don't want to be specific and saying, yeah, we're going to fire this person or that person. I don't want to do that. But I am serious about making some changes. And what I want to see resolved is a smooth working City Hall where people are working together. There's a lot of good things going on in our City Hall too. It's not all bad at all. But I do see that there's some changes that need to be made, and I'm not afraid to do that, and we'll move in that direction if we're elected.
You touched upon the water treatment plant. I'm going to move to a second part of that question. Is there a dollar figure or a point where you would draw the line and say enough is enough?
I think we're so far away from that. I would interpret the question as being, would we just stop construction and let it sit there? No, I don't think that makes sense at all. Things are really pretty much according to schedule right now. And as I mentioned, the overruns we've had were expected, partly because of the fact that whenever you move quickly on something, there is going to be some additional costs that come on from time to time. And we're watching those carefully. I'm looking at those carefully and not just rubber stamping them. And in some cases, I think we're going to be pressing our engineering firm that does consulting engineering for us to take some responsibility in some of these things. I've been talking with our city attorney on just that issue. But according to our finance director, who, by the way, has received some very good awards from the Government Finance Officers Association for doing very good work in budget preparation, right now, we're still on schedule, and we are not in trouble despite some of the things that you hear. I wouldn't say that if this recession goes on for year after year after year, somewhere we might be in trouble, but I don't believe it'll ever be so bad that we've got to stop working on the plant. Actually, the plant's going to be ready to produce water next June, so it'd be a little late to stop it now anyhow.
Okay, if elected, what 3 key areas would you want to address for needed improvements in your ward?
Specifically in my ward, I am concerned that we keep the planning, master planning such that we have buffers between different houses, different areas. This has come up recently with a builder that wanted to put in multifamily units in Cottonwood Street right next to some property that are 1-acre lots. I did not feel that was right. I voted against that, and indeed we have stopped that at this point. So I'd say that's one of the big issues, is maintaining a planning that provides some buffering from small lots to big lots. And I don't know that there's a lot of things that are specific to this ward. Of course, the flood that we had is heavily oriented in Ward 4 and some other wards as well, so I'll mention that as one of them since my ward's involved. I have talked with our senators back in Washington as a part of the Nevada League of Cities and the National League of Cities, which, by the way, I just finished being president of the Nevada League of Cities. I had an opportunity to speak with them in their offices. I talked to Harry Reid and John Ensign both, and I'm convinced that they really believe